Damn, it's so weird, like recording in front of a camera. Hey everyone, how are you? I'm well, thank you for asking. So I feel like a lot of you guys have come over from Instagram because I'm going to be sharing this on my story. Oh. And so I feel like a lot of you know I love to cook. I love to post recipes, I love to do all that kind of stuff. And so I figured, you know what? I used to be really bad at pre-cook, like terrible at pre-cook. And I figured I'm a little better now. I know some basic ways to make food taste good, to make the staples taste good, in my opinion. And so I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys how to do my pre-cook, and it should be good. So at the moment, guys, I'm currently in like a fat loss phase. So basically all I got to do is I got to hit these macros. Is this going to work? I'm going to put the numbers right here. I got to hit these macros, right? And it's pretty flexible actually. As long as calories are maintained and protein is hit, that's it. I'm going to lose my weight. And so that's really good. It means I got a lot of flexibility. But I tend to structure things so that around my workout, it tends to be higher carb and lower fat. The reason being is that fat tends to slow down the digestion and like uptake of glucose and like carbs. And well, I want that to be heightened around my workout window for performance and recovery reasons. There's no real particular advantage to like a high-fat breakfast or like a high-fat dinner or anything like that. But if I'm going to have breakfast and I'm going to be training at 5 in the afternoon, I'm going to have a high-fat breakfast just so I can keep the carbs around the workout and the fat's not around it. At the moment, I tend to be pretty good with that. I'm doing quite well. But post dinner, I tend to have, for breakfast and dinner, I tend to have the same meals. Breakfast is always eggs, always rye bread. I love my rye bread. And a bit of cheese, a bit of spinach. And then pre-bed, I tend to like to have yogurt and casein. I don't know why, but it's actually alright. I thought it would taste like shit. Let's just give it a try. And I'll have a bit of peanut butter as well, just because it's easy, it works. It just works, I can't complain. Alright, time to show you guys what I'm cooking today. Alright guys, so for this tends to be my pre-workout meal. I like to have jasmine rice with a bunch of beef. But obviously that gets pretty boring really quick. So what I like to do is I like to take black beans and refried beans. And once the rice is cooked, I actually just mix it through. And so it turns out it actually makes it taste so fucking good. It's unbelievable. Like I can eat this cold whenever I want. And I add like this Mexican seasoning mix to the beef. Just about like 4 grams per 100 grams of meat. It just makes it taste so... it's so goddamn good. I seriously can't explain how good this shit is. Like, I've realized that if you just add like taco seasonings and Mexican stuff to your beef and to your rice, it's different level. Like, it's so good. Also, I look like total shit today. I just realized my hair is always a mess and I need to shave. But who cares? So I'm going to go take it over to the stove now and I'm going to show you how I cook my beef. Alright, so this is a non-stick pan, so I don't actually need to worry about spraying oil, which is very nice. And I set it on like sort of medium-high. Like we want to cook it relatively quick. And once it heats up, I'll show you basically like how I cook it on the pan. Because I've ran into the experience where you'll chop it up really finely straight away and it just loses all this moisture and it just tastes dry. And especially with extra lean, because I like to use the extra lean, it gets super dry super quick. Like, unless you cook it right, it's gonna go to shit. Like, that's just the reality. Alright, so I want you guys to just like chuck it straight on and then don't break it up entirely. I want you to kind of like break it up into clumps, but I don't want it to be like fine, you know what I mean? Like, I want it nice and kind of those sizes. As you guys can see, look, this stuff is inevitable. Like, it's always going to happen. But if you do it like this, it's going to happen less, and that's really what we're looking for. Guys, I wish you could smell this. It is so good. I don't get how it smells so good. What I basically did, hang on, I'll tell you in a bit. What I basically did is once it was ready, chopped it up, added the seasoning, and now the goal is, now it's going to hold the water, is I want to break it up as much as I can so that when I weigh it, it'll be all good. Cool, so I've just added all the meat to the rice cooker and we're going to mix it up. Now, I've discovered that if you mix it all up really nice, it's going to be fairly accurate when you weigh it. Like, assuming you know the weight of this, you can just weigh the entire thing, subtract this weight, and then divide it by the amount of meals you have, and then you just dish that much into each meal. Like, it's amazing. Obviously, it's going to be probably plus or minus 5 grams of protein, but really that isn't a concern for me. Like, I feel like the amount of effort and the amount of stress that I have to go through to weigh up every single individual thing is probably higher than the benefit I'm actually going to get. Like, that's something to consider. Alright, that's all nicely mixed. Weighs about that much. That's pretty good. So what I do is I go over to my phone. Hang on. I go over to my phone and I do the little equation thing I taught you guys about just before, and then I just subtract. And now, oh shit. Now that is the weight that has to be for one serving. And if I just want to make another serving, let's do that. Magic. There we go. All distributed. Now, time for the second meal. What we're going to do is we're going to take the pasta. Once the pasta's finished, we're going to add the veggies so that they defrost. These are snap frozen, so they'll cook in like 2 minutes. And then once the water stops boiling, we'll drain it, add it all back into here, and then chuck in those. While that's happening, we're going to cook up the chicken, and then we'll add that in, mix it through, and do the same process. Alright guys, this is the final product. Looks pretty good. It actually tastes amazing. Like, it's like this cheesy, pesto-y chicken goodness with some veggies. Cannot complain. And it's only like 500 calories per serving. By the way, I'm going to put all these, the macros of the recipes at the end of the video. So yeah, well, not like a recipe, but like just the ingredients and stuff. Nice. Alright guys, final product. So an entire container is about 500 calories. It's pretty good. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe for more. I'm gonna head off because I'm hungry as fuck and I'm gonna eat one of those meals. Catch ya.